Rediscovery, discovery. Discovery 6. Bardstown Bourbon Company, batch number 6. The 17-year Dickel whiskey is back in this blend. So is some MGP or Ross and Squibb, whatever you want to call it these days. The Discovery 5 was disappointing to some, including me. So how does this new blend compare? And is this worthy of your money? Let's check it out today on the Mash and Drum. What's up, folks? I'm Jason C. from the Mash and Drum, and today we are reviewing the latest Discovery Series blend out of Bardstown Bourbon Company, the 6th premium installment of a series that blends old and rare bourbons together. Now, for each release, team members throughout the distillery taste, analyze, and vote on the best recipe in hopes of creating something unique and delicious. Each Discovery blend has been different, and the same is true for number 6. So Discovery Series 5 was the first blend utilizing 17-year-old George Dickel Tennessee whiskey in the blend. And I mean, it didn't say it on the label, but you can go by the mash bill and the fact that it was from Tennessee, that it was pretty much George Dickel. Now, Dickel tends to be frowned upon. I happen to like some of the high-aged George Dickel whiskey sometimes, especially at a higher proof. But the Discovery 5 came off a bit flat and lacked the flavor and punch I was used to with the Discovery Series. Also included in that Discovery 5 were 3 Kentucky bourbons, one of which was 13 years old. So for Discovery 6, that 17-year Tennessee whiskey is back in the blend, but instead of 3 Kentucky bourbons in the blend like 5, we have, and you guys can take a closer look at the label, we have 68% of this blend is an 11-year Kentucky straight bourbon. The next one is that 16% is a 17-year Tennessee whiskey, again known to be George Dickel with that high corn mash bill. And then back in this blend, and I'm glad to see it, an Indiana bourbon, a 7-year-old that rounds it out another 16% with the mash bill 75% corn, 21% rye, and malted barley at 4%. So only 3 whiskeys in this blend, including some Indiana bourbon as well. This is bottled at 111.1 proof, retails for about 130 bucks, and is available now where Bardstown Bourbon Company bottles are sold near you. So we're going to do a little comparison not only to Discovery 5, but also Discovery 4, which has slowly become my favorite Discovery, I think, of the series. So let's dive in. This is an absolute fruit bomb on the nose. I mean, when I first smelled this at Bardstown when I was there, Steve Nolly was master distiller. He was kind enough to sign my bottle. Such a great team over there at Bardstown Bourbon Company, first class, all the way. I got to pour this and smell it. I'm like, geez, I mean, it smells like a Yankee candle, like a fall Yankee candle. I mean, it is just cherry, apple cider, strawberry. Man, just loaded with cinnamon, nutmeg. I mean, it's fall in a glass. I mean, you know, from the nose standpoint. I mean, there's some orange peel in there. Like candied orange, which I think the candied orange actually comes. Usually, candied orange is a note I get from George Dickel. Totally get it in here. Maybe that's what's, you know, giving that, you know, that scent off of it. But my goodness, the amount of like fruit forward, you know, scents coming off here, it's insane. I mean, it literally smells like some kind of crazy Yankee candle. Like I said, just apple, cinnamon, maybe some apple cider, candied orange, strawberry, like strawberry fruit roll up. I mean, this wasn't, you know, over $100. I can make like a really mean for like fall punch out of this stuff. I mean, shit, it's so good on the nose. All right, let's taste it. Here we go. Nose matches the palate for me. It is so fruity. It's such an absolute fruit bomb. I think it comes through as more as a strawberry cherry combination for me on the palate. The apple, the cinnamon, that kind of hits towards the mid palate. Man, completely different than I remember 5, but we'll compare in a little bit here. What I love about this is you get all the fruit up front. I mean, like I said, those same flavors, you know, the strawberry, the cherry, apple cider. So it hits mid-palate, and then you get this little burst of cinnamon, nutmeg, little black pepper. Then there's almost a delay, and then all of a sudden more spice comes in, and then you're hit with more cinnamon, black pepper, and then that orange, that candied orange note comes in right on the very back end. I don't know if I'm getting like a little bit of a leather tobacco note there on the very, very back end, but it's very subtle. Definitely get some oak wrapped up in there too. The more you sip this, the more oak comes to the forefront. But again, it does not lose those fruit flavors. It is so fruity, so sweet up front. Man, if you guys like fruit forward bourbons, cherry, strawberry, orange, apple cider, apple cinnamon is all over this. This is like the perfect fall bourbon. I mean, we're in fall right now. I mean, you could just sit outside on the porch in front of a fire, you know, put down the hot cocoa and grab this. I'm telling you, it's really good. Drink's really nice for 111.1 proof. Almost drinks below that, but it still keeps that spice. You know, the cinnamon, the pepper, all in there. All those fall spices come in. All right, I'm gonna pour 5 and I'm gonna pour 4, and we'll do a quick compare. All right, guys, here we have it, 4, 5, and 6. Now, a lot of people were asking me when I got this if the corks are back to the super heavy cork. So the last one we saw was 4. It's had a very weighty, you know, heavier cork. 5, all of a sudden the cork is a lot lighter. And, you know, some people were unhappy with that. But 5 is actually, 6 is actually the same. It's still a little bit of a lighter cork. So if you guys were hoping for that super heavy duty cork, again, you're a little out of luck. But so far, the bourbon's really good, especially in the 6. So in the 4, I'm not going to go through every single mash bill here. But I mean, you had some really nice aged stuff in here. You had a 13, a 15, and a 16-year-old, all 3 bourbons blended in here. The standout was that 15-year, 78.5% corn mash bill, which, you know, that was that tote whiskey that was hitting everywhere. That was thought to be Jim Beam. I mean, we saw it in so many brands. You know, Hunt and Gather had their 15-year. Doc Swinson's had it. You know, Chicken Cock had it. I mean, it was all over the place. It was coming out in different, you know, brands that was sourcing their whiskey and filling it with that 15-year, 78.5% corn stuff that supposedly was from Jim Beam. So let's try this one. This has become, I think, my favorite. Man, this is just buttery. It's the butterscotch note that wins me over on this. A little bit of nuttiness, which I think is possibly from that Beam. And there's another distillery in there, I think, that's in there that also gives off a little bit of a nuttiness note, but also has very rich vanillas and caramel, very, very sweet, kind of like creme brulee in a glass, all like burnt the top, the brown sugar on top as well. Let's try this one. And this one came in at 115 proof, Discovery 4. Yeah, all those really rich, just well-aged bourbon notes just come through. The caramel, I get definitely some little bit more sweet tobacco, some rich leather notes in here. It's a really rich bourbon. It tastes like a rick house smells, if that makes sense. It's just like one of those things. It's what's that crazy gum that I can't? There's the gum flavor that I can't stand it. Because it reminds me of Ben Gay. You know, the pain reliever cream that just friggin' stinks? There's a gum flavor. I don't know if it's spearmint or wintermint or wintergreen or whatever it may be. But like Lifesavers has it, and there's a gum flavor like Trident has it. And it, like, when you smell it, it smells like Ben Gay. Like someone's wearing Ben Gay, and I hate it. So yeah, but this is this reminds me, it tastes like, I think, like a like a rickhouse smells, if that makes sense. Probably not. That was a little bit of a tangent. All right, let's go to Discovery 5. Now, Discovery 5, as I said, had 4 blends in the mash bill, 4 whiskeys, I should say, 3 Kentuckys, and then for the first time, it had that 17-year George Dickel Tennessee whiskey in it. Let's go to the nose. So I haven't been back to this in a little while. So it's interesting coming back to it, and it's so orange forward. This has really, the candied orange notes has really come to the forefront. The oak, it's actually slightly floral as well. Maybe slight hint of cherry too. But I remember loving the nose on it. It wasn't the nose that was the problem, it was the palate. Let's see how it's holding up now. Palate's the same. I mean, it drinks easy, it drinks nice, but there's no, like, there's not a lot of flavor to it. Like, I know I'm drinking bourbon, but there's no standout flavors that are just like hitting me in, you know, the taste buds here. Yeah, it comes through as oak. There's a little minerality too, I think, from the Dickel that comes through, which is why I don't think a lot of people liked it. You know, George Dickel Tennessee whiskey tends to be a little bit polarizing. Some people love it, some people hate it, some people don't mind it in a blend. But when it overtakes the blend, I think that's when you kind of lose some people. But I think for this one, on the nose, the candied orange notes definitely helped it. But on the palate overall, even with those 3 Kentucky whiskeys, those 3 Kentucky bourbons, it still fell flat. Nothing. It's almost like they were all just trying to fight each other to come to the forefront, and none of them ever make it with this blend. Nothing's really standing out. Now we go to the 6, and holy crap, the 6 compared to the 5. God, the 6 is in a whole nother world. I mean, the 6 is just an absolute fruit bomb. It almost tastes like, or smells like you're smelling like an old fashioned, like Luxardo cherry syrup with some black walnut bitters. I like to use black walnut bitters in my old fashions. Throw some black walnut bitters in there, some Luxardo cherries, some little bit of Luxardo cherry syrup, fresh orange rind, a little bit of sugar. That's what it smells like. Damn, it smells good. And just like load it with cinnamon. Let's try it. Yeah, so the big question, guys, is 6 better than 5? Yes. Do you get the Dickel flavors that you get in 5? No, I'm not really. I'm getting it in the form of candied orange. Am I getting it in the minerality of it? I mean, maybe a touch, but I think it's coming through as more as the oak and the candied orange. It doesn't come closer near to where I'm getting it in the 5. Is it as good or better than the 4? That's up for debate. It's a totally different drinking experience. Bardstown Discovery 4 is a study in just beautifully well-aged bourbons. I mean, you have some really high ages in there. I would say 13, 15, and 16. I mean, it's just a beautifully aged bourbon. All the rickhouse notes, the deep, rich caramel, vanillas, all those rich notes that you would expect from an older bourbon. 6 is, yeah, there's some oak there, but it's a complete fruit bomb. Like I said, cherry, strawberry, orange. I mean, it's really up to you. So let's go to the final breakdown on Discovery number 6. All right, it's time for the final breakdown. Price on this is $130 retail. Secondary, I've seen these as high as about $200. Availability, Bardstown Bourbon Company's availability is okay. I mean, it's getting better as they open up to more states. I mean, these are pretty limited. They tend to go fast, but the availability is okay. The value of this, I love the value. You know, a lot of people will scoff at $130 and say that's a lot of money. But again, you're getting some pretty high-aged whiskeys in here again. So I think in today's market, where you're seeing new releases come out, $200, $250, people paying secondary prices for stuff a lot younger than this. I actually think it's it's an even value. So I'd say it's pretty good. The most I'd pay for this, retail. I like this at $130. I think maybe the Discovery 4, I might have paid a little bit more for it because of that, 13 and 15 and 16-year-old Kentucky bourbons. To get that at such a good price, I thought was an actual steal. I thought it was great. For this one, you're getting a little bit of younger stuff in here. So I do like the price point though. I don't mind it at $130. So the most I pay for it is retail. So is this a recommend? So 5, I actually said no, I don't recommend it. The flavors were just too flat for me to spend $130 on it. This gets me back to a yes. So yes, I recommend this if you love fruit bombs. Don't expect this to taste like Discovery 4, which I know a lot of people loved. It's a different type of experience. That is all like barrel, rickhouse. This is an absolute fruit bomb. Strawberry, orange, a lot of cherry. Again, kind of like those, it's like fall in the glass, heavy cinnamon. If you love fall, if you love, you know, carving pumpkins in your Halloween costume, pour some of this along with it. I think you'll really like it. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review for the brand new Bardstown Discovery number 6. If you enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button below. Please hit the like button. If you haven't yet, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter. Let me know if you've tried this one, if you've had it, what you think of it, if you got the same experience that I did. And as I always say, it's not about the whiskey, it's the people you share it with. So cheers, and cheers to Bardstown for getting this one back on track. Cheers, guys.